this press release from Bell Media, it's suggesting that CP24 Breakfast. Let me read it. CP24 Breakfast becomes Toronto's most watched local news morning program in all key demographics.
Now, let me stop there and tell you that that is profoundly accurate, but doesn't boast enough.
Well, there's more. You want more?
No. Well, okay, go ahead.
CP24 Breakfast now attracts 12% more viewers than its closest competitor during weekday broadcasts. And it's not written here, but can we just acknowledge that that is Breakfast Television?
Correct.
Your old show on the Rogers channel.
Correct. Of which I take part of my satisfaction in starting this TV show was the possibility that from zero we would eventually overtake them, and we succeeded in doing it. So I take great joy in that. Now, do you need more? Or do you want
one last bullet here. Toronto's #1 local breakfast show boasts double-digit leads over its closest competitor, which is Breakfast Television, in the adults 18 to 49, adults 18 to 34, and adults 25 to 54 demographics. Right.
So what will happen here as you spin things? We have it all the time. It's like what's a good analogy? Is because they'll obfuscate something from it. They will say, well, something they might say something like, well, we have, and I'm not sure the numbers. We have more people listening, but it means nothing if you have a bunch of 2-year-olds and a bunch of 65-year-olds, and they happen to be greater in number than those 25, 49, all that stuff. So because 2-year-olds don't buy stuff and 65-year-olds are retiring and soon to die. So no offense to anybody who's 65 is about to die. I apologize. So the key demos. We actually, that was the case far before this press release, but on a consistent level to be able to say it without somebody coming and saying, oh, but it's not true because this week, they waited a long time. So this is in fact true far before this press release went out. And the other thing, the other great satisfaction is that Breakfast Television had those big, huge 60-foot towering posters in Yonge Dundas Square of the hosts, and it said Toronto's #1 morning show. And I was just so happy when it just they had to take it down because they couldn't say that anymore, which is great satisfaction. I mean, as much as I like some of the people on that show, personally,
do you like Kevin Frankish?
I don't know.
You don't dislike him? No, you do dislike him.
I have no feeling about Kevin Frankish. If he's listening or ends up listening to this, Kevin, I got no feeling about you.
You're indifferent to Kevin.
Dina, I really like. I don't see her very often. And then the others are so new-faced that I've never met them, so I don't know. Yeah. And Jennifer Valentine was and continues to be a very good friend of mine.
And now she's on The Mighty Q.
She is.
With John Derringer.
Yeah. And I think that's all. Oh, yes. Sorry. What they don't brag about here is I've extrapolated those numbers. The closest thing to population in this country would be Montreal, but there's only 800,000 Anglos in Montreal, so it doesn't count. Vancouver would come next, but it's petty compared to the size of Toronto, though I've heard that they have a morning show on Global out there that does well. So I will extrapolate these numbers by sheer logic that if we're the #1 morning show in Toronto, we're the #1 morning show in Canada. So that's what that doesn't say. Because, again, they don't want to be, the people who write these press releases don't want to be called on inaccuracy, which somebody could probably, try and pull something inaccurate about that. But I will say that I am one of the hosts and faces of the #1 television show in the morning in this country. And that is the 4th biggest media market in North America.